Hello everyone, this is Greg from Mystery Honey, and today is going to be a day. I'm going to be sweating my bits off because it is 26 degrees C outside and is it warm, and I'm going to be in a very foamy sting-proof suit. So yeah, looking forward to that. I'm fortunate that my queen mate in apiary is mostly under the cover of trees, so hopefully that'll be a bit cooler, and there is a bit of a wind, bit of a gust. When you're dealing with beekeeping in hot climates, I don't know how Spanish and people like that do it, but in the UK, when it's hot here, 26 degrees, yes, everyone from mainland Europe and anywhere where you actually have decent weather, 26 degrees C is breathtakingly hot for us. Yeah, sweltering. Quick tip, get yourself a cold drink and put it in a thermos. It sounds, really obvious, but some people don't clock that thermoses work both ways. It keeps hot things hot, cold things cold. So it means you can always come and go get a nice blast of cold water down your throat. It's good. Today I am going to be, what am I going to be doing? Today I'm probably going to be trying to stop the hives from being too honey logs. I've just treated myself to a birthday present of 20 brood boxes from Abello. So I'm going to be using them to sort of create more space. Before I do that though, what I want to do is I want to take those big frames of honey out. They're perfect for when I'm going to be creating some nucs later on this month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the frames of honey out and put them in my nuc boxes. Empty nuc boxes, there's no bees in them or anything like that. Put them in the nuc boxes so they're just ready for when I'm going to start making nucs later on. And I'm going to swap out those frames with some foundation. That's the plan today anyway. I'm hoping it's going to go well, and I hope it's going to go quick. Another thing that I'm going to be doing this inspection is I'm going to be preparing my hives so I can take brood from them to create nucs and bees as well. The way to do that is to go through your colonies, find the best frames of capped brood, uncapped brood as well, that's important, and just try and put them inside an empty brood box. So it's good if you have a brood box that doesn't have any frames in, and you can take the frames up, look, go, okay, that's a really good frame of capped brood. Shake it off, get all the bees off so you're not bringing the queen with you, and then you put that in that empty brood box. And you go through the whole colony. Like I have 2 or 3 brood boxes on my colony, so there's going to be quite a lot of frames, hopefully. So you shake them all off, and you put those frames into that empty brood box. You fill that brood box, and then you probably have to shift the leftover frames into the bottom box, so the queen has somewhere to lay. Put a queen excluder on, and put that box that is full of brood on top of this queen excluder. Now it's important to have uncapped brood, so larvae, because what that'll do is that'll attract nurse bees through the queen excluder to go and feed them and look after them. So it's very important to have some, you don't have to do all, but at least have some brood in there that is uncapped. That'll get a lot of bees up there, so it means that when you come to it later on, or maybe in a few days or so, that should be full of bees, and the fact that the queen's not in there because she'll be in the bottom box underneath that queen excluder. So all you need to do is just take those frames up and put them in the nuc boxes. That's it. You've got bees in there, you've got brood in there, and I'll have food in there already from today from swapping them out with foundation. So yeah, hopefully it's all going to go really well. Bees are bees though, so it could go completely wrong. So I'm going to get my bee suit on now, get my smoker lit, and I'm going to go through the I'm also going to get a quick swig of cold juice because it's warm. Right, I'm going to get cracking. I'll see you guys in a bit. Right, so here we have a box of foundation frames. So hack these open. So I got this from Den Rosa Apiaries in Scotland, and we have pre-made frames built quite well with foundation in them. So any frames that I find with honey in them, that are honey bound, I'm going to take it off, put it in one of these nuc boxes here, and then replace it with one of those frames. That's what I'm going to do. So that's today's job. What I will do though is I will get my nucs laid out with the lids off, just so I can put the frames of honey in straight off, so I'm not rooting about with the frame in my hand. So I'm going to do that now. Put it next to it, crown board off, and I want to take 2 frames out just to make some space and put these frames on here. some of these have no frames in. So. I've got many more nucs to put out, but for now I'll just stick with these ones, because what I can do, because these have no frames in, I can just pile them into here and I can sort it out after the fact. So I think what I'm going to do is take these frames out here. Oh. So now I've got space for 24 honey frames I can put down here, and then I can come and get the foundation as I need it. And then after the fact, I'll close these off so the bees can't get to them, and then at a later date I can then use these and shift the honey around. So I think that's going to work out a bit better for me this time. So I'll do that. Right, so you may recognise this one from when I caught a swarm underneath it, which is this box here. I'll go on to that in a minute. So this has 3 brood boxes. The one in the middle had empty frames in there, so this was a fresh box. We're going to see how the bees have taken to that, because these guys were producing queen cells, but they were with eggs. So I put another box in between and broke them up quite a bit, so hopefully that'll have knocked them out with the swarm response. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to go through from the bottom box up. Any frames that are full of honey, I'm going to swap them out for foundation. Any frames that have a decent amount of brood in, I'm going to stick them in this brood box here. And then when this is full of brood, I'll be putting that over queen excluder. Now hopefully when I've taken 12 frames out or 11 frames out of this colony, one of these boxes will be empty, so I can do the same again. That's a hope anyway. Right, let's have a look. So I'll go through it now. Put you over here out of the way first. Put the lid just to that side. So the bees are in the top box, that's good. So when you're dealing with big colonies like this, start with the bottom first and work your way up. We do that by cracking the crown board. Yeah, full of bees up here. I always try and knock the bees off the crown board. Just because if the queen is up there, you don't want her getting lost on the floor, you know. So, right, wiggle this under. It's a tight seal. There we go. Right. If the frames of the bottom box are stuck to the bottom of this, just twist and hopefully that'll break the wax seal that's holding them together, or the propolis. So lift this off. Wow, that is really heavy. That is incredibly heavy. Wow, wait. Oh. Yeah, so this was a checkerboarded foundation and full frame. So I can already see that they have already filled out quite a lot of these full frames with honey, I guess. I'll have a look at that in a minute, but it looks promising. I think I can see one foundation frame here that's not been touched at least. That one's definitely been filled out, and this one has, and this one has. So they have been working hard, so that's good. So if you want to just do a quick check, I think I've already gone over this before. If you want to do a quick check to see if there's any queen cells, like swarm cells, just lift up one of the boxes and look underneath. If there's any swarm cells, usually they're poking out the bottom around here somewhere. But it looks okay. Yeah. There's 3 things, as I always say, that keep a colony happy and healthy. Brood, food, and space. If you run out of any of these things, then it can cause an issue for the colony. If they run out of space, it can cause them to swarm. If they run out of brood, so if there's queen in there but there's no brood, then it could be a pointer to something going wrong. And you need food, because if you have a cold period, which we've not actually had for at least a month and a bit, which is, you know, amazing for the UK. This is like the best year so far. But yeah, if you have a cold period, then you want them to have some food to be able to eat. Depending how big the colony is, you need like at least 2 or 3 frames. But yeah, we'll go through it in a second. Right, we'll smoke these down and we'll try and find some brood. I'm not too bothered about finding the queen. That may change if I find some queen cells. but we'll see. Remember, don't go for the edge, go for one that's in the middle somewhere. And that has capped brood on it. It has lots of pollen on it, which is good. And I'm in the shadow, so I can't really see very well. I can see lots of eggs as well, so that's good. Now, this side has some capped brood here and eggs. So when you see capped brood and eggs, it generally means that the capped brood is opening up, that is hatching. So when you are starting a nucleus colony, you are wanting to find a frame that is mostly capped but with like some eggs around the outside, or in the middle is perfect, because that means that nuke is going to explode with bees very soon, because all that brood will hatch very soon, and it means it'll bolster that colony very quickly. But we'll have a look. Do I want to give that to a nucleus colony? I don't think I do. I think I'm going to leave it. What I'm looking for mostly at the moment is capped and larvae, because it's going to be a few days before I actually go and create these nuke boxes. So I don't want all the brood hatching before I get a chance. So that's a pretty good one. Got some larvae on here. Yeah, lovely white larvae. Some eggs. Yeah, so I'm going to save that one. So shake it off. So yeah, got some brood. Got some pollen around the outside, which nukes need. Yeah, got some cap brood, although it's more pollen really, this frame. It's more pollen. I'm going to put it in for now, but I may change my mind if I find some better ones somewhere else. That's a lovely frame of cap brood. Big patch there. It's healthy looking. The bees are looking good as well. Cool. I like that. So shake it off. Check for the queen. Cursory glance. You don't want the queen in the top box above the queen excluder. That'll just cause issues. So if you see any bees, just knock them off with your nails. They can't sting through nails. Empty. Move over here. Ooh. Done. Right, next. So one that you don't want to give them, this is drone brood. So you don't want to be giving them that, because drones won't help the nuke out very much at all. They'll just suck up resources. So that can stay with this colony. So look at you. Lots of eggs, lots of larvae. I'm wanting larvae and capped brood. Yeah, lots of eggs, lots of larvae. Just checking, I've seen a queen cup. Yeah, always check your queen cups, just to see. Bees may not be swarming, but it's always good just to check, you know. This is another frame that's full of drone brood, so this is staying with this colony. So another queen's still in this colony, as in it's not swarmed, because I've seen eggs. So if you see eggs, it's a good indicator. I'm going to stick you back in here, because I don't think I need you from this one right now. So this is full of cap brood, that's great. Cursory glance for the queen. She probably won't be on this one, and this is an absolute full frame of cap brood. That's perfect. So I'm going to shake this off. Remember, you're not wanting to like wah, just a little twitch, and bees should fall off. Oh, push. You. Okay, so that's good. Again, these frames are very full of like pollen as well as brood, so I might actually split this up amongst several nuke boxes, just because there's so much pollen. I want that to be used for new brood when the new queens start laying. Right, so look at you. So it looks like a big queen cup. Let's have a check. It's empty. Good. Right, so we've got eggs. Got some larvae, but it's drone larvae. You can see because they've elongated the cells here. So I'll show you. So see how they've elongated the cells here? That's drone larvae. Get off. Because I'm getting close to the entrance, this is where all the foragers hang out. So I'm going to start getting pinged a bit. Remember, if you get attacked, smoke yourself, not the bees. It's a good frame of cap brood. The other side's not so great, but it's full of pollen again. I'm going to just leave that one in, I think. Keep going through. I think the closer we get to the entrance, we'll start getting nectar and honey and pollen rather than anything else, because that's where the bees will. Yeah, this is an amazing frame of pollen, so that can stay in. So I think, yeah, so that's just got honey in it. It's in the. Is it worth swapping out for foundation? No, it's got lots of nectar in it. So if you take nectar out of a hive and you store it anywhere for a prolonged amount of time, the nectar can start to ferment, so you don't really want that to happen. So what I'm going to do now is I've taken 3 frames out of this. I'm going to take 3 frames out of this and put it in there now, okay? So what I'm going to aim for, I think, is I'm going to look for the foundation frames, because I've got lots of foundations, so they're going to be easiest to replace. So if it was a colder day, the frames that I've got with cap brood on their own though, with no bees on, I'd be trying to rush. But today's lovely 26 degrees, so I don't really have to rush at anything. Right, so I'm just going to go through this colony, find 3 frames to put in there, and then I can put this box on top. If I find any cap brood with larvae in here, I'm going to shake them into this bottom box and put the frame over there. So that is full of nectar and the bees are cleaning it up. So I'm going to leave that with them for now. It's not honey bound, it's just got nectar in. Nectar can easily be eaten down. Foundation frame, again, this is full of nectar on both sides. This has got some drone larvae on it, some honey on it, and nectar on it. Okay. So what sort of frames am I looking for? I'm looking for some that have a lot of brood on. So this has a lot of larvae on it. This frame right in the center. So I'm going to stick this in here. I'm going to try and put as much brood in the bottom as possible because I want to keep this as a brood area. Oh, this is very heavy. I think this is honey frame. Yes, this has got lots of honey in it. Unfortunately, it's not capped. If it was capped, then I'd move it across, but it's not capped, so I can't. Let's have a look at you. This has got lots of eggs on it. Right in the centre. It's also got some nectar around the edges as well. So, oh, and it's got the queen on as well. Found the queen, so I'll show you the queen. And she's still marked as well, God love her. See with the green dot? So there's the queen. So what I can do now, which is amazing, is I can put her in a queen cage. So keep an eye on her. Might have to use my dongle. So because I found the queen, I don't have to do any more shaking. Because I found her. If I keep her in here, go on, down you go. Come on. Come on. So bees always like to travel up. So if she's getting stuck in the top of that tube, then lift it up. So now she's in the cage, I'm going to lift it up, and hopefully she'll start walking up, and she has. Right, so the queen is now in here. So I don't have to shake the bees off anymore, I can just put them in that top box. That's great. To keep her safe, I'm going to put her on top of the frames in here, and the bees should start climbing over her. It should be fine. So I've just had a text from some people that I am mentoring, and they're having a bit of an issue with the colony. They've only got one colony, and it's turned into a drone-laying queen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them some frames of brood with eggs and young larvae in as well. So what that'll do is that'll give her bees some extra chance to survive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a couple of those frames there with cat brood, and that one that I saw with larvae in here, I want to swap that out with her as well. So she's got some young larvae to turn into queens and some eggs just in case, and some fresh brood that's about to hatch. So what that means is that she can put those frames in, 2 frames of cat brood, that frame of larvae and eggs. She can put that into her now queenless box. I told her to get rid of the queen. That new brood will hatch out, bolstering the numbers that are in there, and that'll help to create a new queen from the larvae and eggs that I'm giving them. So hopefully that'll work out for them. So fingers crossed. So you may see in a few minutes these frames suddenly disappear. If you do, then that's why. But it's still good. Still going through it. Still need to keep checking. But now I don't need to shake the bees off. So that's drawn out. Lovely. Put that in there. Just need one more frame. So I'm going to stick an empty frame in. Why not? Remember, when you use frames of foundation, always write the date, or rather the year, that you put the foundation in. Try not to use old frames, so I'd probably say more than 5 years old. Right, stop it. I have to smoke these guys now. I'm getting annoyed. It's a lovely day today, so everyone seems to be having a barbecue, and I'm extremely jealous. I want a barbecue. Right, so wiggle this in. Ah! Wiggle away. Wiggle away. Push this in there. There we go. Right, that's good. So I'm going to keep that queen. So I'm going to keep that queen in that cage for now. I'm going to put this box on top. I'm going to keep it as like a double brood, but the top box is going to be predominantly brood ready for going into new boxes. So these bees are fancy. Go smoke. Remember to smoke yourself. Now, when you're smoking near the queen, do not smoke her like that. Alright? Bees on her should stay with her. So just lift it up gently. But if any bees are starting to get you, just do like little wisps under your sleeve like that. Just to budge them across. Get them away from your sleeve, okay? But that queen needs to stay away from smoke. It won't particularly hurt her. It's just in case. Because the last thing you want to do is hurt her by accident. Oh, so, rearrange this a bit. Okay. So I'm going to put some more. Ow! That was a splinter, not a bee. Ow. Right. Put this on. Get rid of these bees. Go on. Get out of the way. Right. So, tie this up a bit. And leave the space for the next box. Right, I'm going to leave the queen here. She's being looked after by the bees. And I'll go see if this person's turned up. Right, so I've gone through this colony while I was waiting for Sam to get here. And these are all just full frames of honey, as you can see. Full on frames of honey. So, I'm going to shake these out. Go through it, take all the bees out. And then I'm just going to replace all of these with frames of foundation. And hopefully the bees will come up and start drawing them out. So what we're doing there, that's got a bit of brood on, so I'm going to give that to them. So what I've done is I've taken some of the food away. There's plenty of food still in this hive here. I've taken some of the food away and I've replaced it with foundation. So instead of being clogs with honey, they are now free and they've got lots and lots of space. Right, I'm going to go take this away and put this in my nuke box over there. Here we are. So, honey. I'm just going to fill these guys up with honey and then I'll close it up and deal with it later. Honey. Oh, it's got a bit of brood on it. I'm going to take that back. Oh. Honey. And finally, honey. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this plastic crown board over the top just to stop the bees from robbing those frames out for now. There's still space for one more honey. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some frames of foundation in here and take them back over there and fill up the box. Moving onwards. So we have this box that has brood in it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 frames of brood. So that'll do 2 nukes. Generally you want to put 2 frames of brood, cap brood, in a nuke at a time. So the bees will come up and we'll actually start looking after it. So you can put it in the middle where the heat will retain. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some foundation either side here, like that. And the reason for that is that bees hate foundation being next to brood. So what that'll do is it'll encourage the bees to draw out this foundation here. So remember what I said, try and mark down what the date is, 25, 25, done. Right, now I'm going to put the foundation either side of them. Whoa. Might need another frame. No. Right, so we're going to write 25 and everything. 25, 25, 25, 25, and finally 25. Right, so now we've got frames of brood, frames of foundation. I'm going to stick that on top of that hive now with the queen excluder on top. So as you can see, the bees have come to the top. They're not happy that there's no roof and the queen's right here. So what I'm going to do is lift the queen off very gently. I'm going to smoke these bees down. And then while they're doing that, I want to take these bees off my fingers because I don't want to get stung. And I'm just going to brush these onto the tops of the frames with my nails because bees can't sting through nails. Like so. Right, so inside here is a lovely queen. All the bees are in there. I've reduced the amount of brood that's in there. I've also given them more space. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put that box on top of here and hopefully the bees will come up. So I'm going to release the queen. Come on, Queenie, down you go. She's going to go down there. Away. I'm going to put the queen excluder on, like so. Come on, in you go. So when you put the queen excluder on the first time, just give it a quick wiggle. And the bees should get the memo to budge out the way. And then I'm going to put this box on. Then in a few days I'm going to come back and I'm going to turn this into a nuke. So I'm going to take the bees from these frames here, put them in some nuke boxes. They've already got some food in there as well. May give them a few shakes of bees from this box as well. And then I've got 2 nukes made up. So if they just need a queen coming in. Sweet. Right. Oh, let's put this on. Gently. Oh. Right, now I've got to do that to the rest. Hopefully it won't take as long. So you may or may not recognise these colonies. These were double brood nucs. What I did was I transferred them into full-size hives, which is really annoying because I wanted to take them to my production apiary as double nucs, but they just got too big. And unfortunately they got too big too fast for this one because it swarmed. So yeah, what I'm going to do today, it's been 2 weeks since I saw a capped queen cell. She's had time to emerge, to get all ready and to go out and get mated. So I'm going to go check this for eggs. If there's eggs, it means that this is the first queen of 2025 for me, which is awesome. Unfortunately, I don't have a blue marker yet, so she may get marked silver for now. Right. So to give them extra space, I put a Manky Super on top, and it looks like they've actually cleaned it up and started to put honey up in here now. So that's cool. So I'm just gonna have a quick look. Yeah, so they've definitely cleaned up those cells. There's new wax right here, and there's lots of honey being put into those cells as well. So that's pretty cool. Right, so let's have a quick look, see what's going on in here. Ooh. Come on, out you come. There you go. Now, if there is a virgin queen running about in here, last thing I want to do is change what the outside looks like, because she'll be going out, going and getting mated and coming back, going out and getting mated, coming back. If I change this in any way, shape or form by like putting another box on top or anything like that, she may get confused and go into a queen right colony, at which point she'll be killed. So what I need to do is I need to maintain this colony in this box as close to it as possible. So what I may have to do is take a couple of frames of honey out, if there's any honey locked frames, and swap them out for foundation, like I've been doing it for the other ones, but for this one it's extremely crucial to do. Right, so what I'm hoping to see is eggs. I don't particularly need to see her, but if I see eggs, then it means that in here there is the first queen of 2025 for me. Capped brood here. We can see where the eggs, where the queen cell was. It's been torn down. So I'm showing a quick cursory glance and I'll show you what that looks like. So if you see a cell like that, that was clearly a queen cell, and they've started tearing it down now. That's because the queen is vacated, so they don't need it anymore. Just looking for eggs. If I don't see any, it's not the end of the world. It's really nice weather at the moment, so my guess is that the queen's going to get mated pretty quickly. Last year we had nothing but bloody rain all year, so this year I'm hoping that we have a bit of a change of pace. Oh, we already have had a change of pace. This spring has just been off the record so far. Just keep an eye out. Can't see the queen. Still can't see the queen. Look for eggs. So I make a little dot on the lug where the queen cell was. So what I'm doing is, I think it's there, so I'm going to work my way towards it. Hopefully by that time I'll have seen the queen, or I'll have seen some eggs. When we get to it, what we need to do is see if she's actually hatched from it. Sometimes the bees put too much wax on the queen cell so she can't actually escape. It is a bit of a downfall sometimes, but it's fine. Some crystallized honey though. Interesting. Oh, watch out. Yeah, so I'm not seeing any eggs yet, but that's fine. If she's just got back from being mated, then she's not going to be laying like crazy yet. She needs to ruminate on the new sperm that she's got, and then she can start cracking on. More cap brood from before. Another torn down queen cell. Have a quick look, see if I can see her. Not yet. There wasn't really any cells on that one for her to lay in, so I wasn't looking for any eggs in that one. Oh, the problem with weather like this is that everyone's having bloody barbecues, and I love barbecue smell. Ugh, just makes me want to eat. So, got some more queen cells here. These are empty, so these are queen cups. Still can't see her. I'm not seeing any eggs either. So if I can't see any eggs, don't give up hope. It could just be that she's just not mated yet, or she's not fully mated. So she may have gone out and mated a couple of times, but maybe she wants more. Ugh. I'll have to break that up. Oh, that's a strong one. So my hope is that this one next to me hasn't swarmed either. I think I caught that one just early enough. If you see a lot of nectaring cells, don't worry. It doesn't mean that it is honey bound yet. It just means that the bees haven't got any reason to store it anywhere else, so they just come spitting it out and flying off again. The queen's not sort of going around and saying, "Oi, I need somewhere to lay." Right, so this is the frame here that had the queen cell on, so we'll have a quick look. Yeah, so she's definitely hatched from that. I'm just seeing if I can see her, because sometimes the queen likes to hang out on the frame that she hatched from, and that's sometimes the place where she lays her first eggs. So I can't see her, so I want to bring this over to you so you can see the cell. So if you see a cell and the bottom's been torn open like that, that means that the queen has emerged. What's happened there is that the bees have started to tear that down because it's been a few days now. But that's fine. Right, I'll have a quick look for some eggs. I don't think there's any eggs in this one yet. I don't think she's been back from her mating flights. So if that's the case, close it up, leave it to it. Just a few more frames. We're done. Right. Lots of pollen, that's good. She'll need that when she gets back. Lots of nectar and pollen. Yeah, okay. I'm going to say that there's no eggs in this yet, or if there are, they're very few and far between. She's not got into the rhythm yet. So, we're going to close her up and leave her for a few more days. There we go. It's back. Still have some frame of cap brood, so they've still got some new bees coming into the colony. So that's good. Right, I'm going to stick the super on and leave them to it. What I'm going to do though, just to sort of encourage them to move out, because they've only really put honey in the middle ones here, I'm going to swap them out and sort of checkerboard them a bit. I love to checkerboard. It's one of my favourite things to do, because it means that the bees sort of spread their interest, and it confuses them in some cases, so it means that they're less willing to swarm, or stuff along those lines. It's just a good way to keep them entertained, I find. Let's swap this end one here, this one here. There we are. Sorted. Right, lid on. Shame I couldn't find it, but I think that she's going to be okay. I'll come and look for her in the next few days. Right. Oh, just be very careful with this. That's why. Right, lid on. Side. So same again with this one. It's not swarmed to my knowledge. It may have swarmed in the meantime, but when I transferred it across, they had no swarm cells. So I'm going to have a quick look, see what they're like. They may need another super, or something along those lines. As I mentioned before, I've got some brood boxes on the way, so I can increase the space that way. My aim is to try and move away from using supers. I prefer to use brood boxes for honey. I've got the strength at the moment, so that's good, so I may as well use it. If you're struggling lifting brood boxes full of honey, then yeah, stick to supers. It just makes it a bit more manageable. It means that your honey boxes are about 10-15 kilograms rather than 20-25 kilograms. Right, so interesting. Smoke them down a bit. I don't care if I see the queen or not. I care about seeing queen cells. Now, looking down, I can see that at least one of these frames looks like it's got a lot of honey in it. So, break these apart. I may have to do some swapping out with foundation in a minute, which is fine. I'm not going to steal any brood from this one to make some nucs, just because it's still quite small. So here we are. So that is full to the brim with honey. So take that off. Give this colony some more space. Remember, brood, food, and space. So give them some space. That's one of the things checked off. So I'm going to just move this to the side here for now, because I may have to get some more. So look. This has got a lot of nectar in it. And empty cells. Got some larvae in it. Neat eggs. Oh. Seeing larvae, no eggs there. Some empty cells there, I think. Let's have a look. Let's get the torch out. When in doubt, torch it. Okay, there's some eggs, but they're right on the edge. So that's interesting. Okay, so what I've just seen there is that, imagine that that is the bottom of the cell. So you've got lots of cells. That's the bottom of the cell. Usually the egg is right in the middle there, facing upwards, and it starts moving across like that as it gets older, and then it turns into a larvae. The egg here is based around the edge here. Now, that usually indicates something's wrong. I'm going to have a look, see if there's any other eggs that are in the middle. If there's eggs in the middle, nothing to worry about. Maybe she was just off at a jaunty angle. Maybe the cell's slightly too big. But when it's on the edge here, maybe something's wrong with the queen. Another thing to look for is if you get eggs along the actual inside of the cell, not the bottom. That means that it's usually laying workers. Right. So I'll have a look at this last one. Hey, don't make me smoke you guys again. So we've got a lot of drone brood here. And some worker cells as well. So that's alright. So we've got some worker cells, so we don't have to worry about it being drone laying queen or laying workers. That's good. Right, put that down. I'll move out the way, you. And you. Budge. Alright. So we're just looking for some eggs now. What we don't want to see is queen cells. So this has got a lot of honey in it, but it's also got brood in it, so I can't get rid of this one yet. Still looking for those eggs. Yeah, so there's lots of eggs right on the side, on the edge. Now, if there wasn't worker brood, I'd be worried about laying worker. But that is strange. If I can find the queen, I'd like to see her, just to see if she's okay. She might be missing a leg or something, I don't know. Usually when something's wrong with the queen, the bees kill her off, like, brutally. And then they produce a new queen that is healthy. It's just the way it is. But we'll see. So we've got lots of worker brood here. That's good. Got lots of honey around the outside as well. So these guys are struggling for space. Okay. So I've seen eggs. I know she's in here. Got lots of brood. Yeah, it's another frame of brood as well. Cat brood. That's all going to be emerging very soon, it looks like. Yeah, again, some more eggs along the edge of the cells. That's strange. I don't know if I'll be able to show you guys, to be honest, if I was to put it near the camera, just because my camera doesn't seem to like being so close up to the cells. That's strange. Well, there's lots of brood. There's plenty of food. But it is space that she is running out of. Now we've got cat brood here with a hole here in the middle. So that means that this brood here, or the capped brood here, is going to be hatching soon. So that means that in the middle here is more than likely where the queen is going to start laying very soon if she hasn't already started. I'm just going to look, see if you can see her. It's usually frames like this that you'll find the queen. So the good news is that I've not seen any queen cells yet. That's good. So we've got some cell eggs. So all the eggs are on the edge of the cell. So that is very strange to me. All of them. Not some of them, all of them. So that's very weird. But they are producing worker brood, so that's good. The bees do look healthy. So that's also good. And it's just a weird queen. She's healthy and she's doing the job. Okay. So these guys just need some space. That's the issue. They've got a super that's above them, so they have got some space. But it seems like they're using that predominantly for food. So if I can find some way of giving them some space, I will do. So what I'm looking for is another big frame full of food. I'll take that out and replace it with foundation. They can draw that out for me. So this is a big frame of what was brood. Now it's, well, it still is brood, but it's hatched. So she's got some room to lay. That's good. Now what I am seeing is some bees with like a K-shape wing formation. So the wings are sticking out like the letter K. Now that is an indicator that it could be Varroa that's causing some issues for them. But I've never heard of Varroa causing issues making the queen lay on the edge of the cell. So I don't think that is the issue with the queen. But I think that it is an issue with this colony. So what I might have to do is I might have to do a spring treatment. Which can be a bit of a pig. Got plenty of Formic Pro, so I can do that, but the temperatures are just a little bit too warm at the moment for it. Like, she's making lots of brood, and it's all looking really good. So she's not that bad. It's just laying weird. Right, I'm going to get my frame foundation. I'm going to stick it here between these two frames of brood here, and that means the bees will draw it out faster. It's weird. Oh. Right, 25. Right. Okay. Back in. Right, and put the super back on. How strange, you little weirdos. Oh. Weird. But good news is they haven't swarmed. They're just a bit weird. Oops, how that goes. So I'm just doing a quick inspection of the imported queen from last year, the last one that's alive. And I thought, right, I'll just have a quick check, see if she's swarming or not, see if she needs any extra boxes or anything like that. Well, first of all, the super that was on top has some honey in it, fine. But what I noticed just was this. So in this gap here, they've made some brace comb right there. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that where you are? Yeah. So they've made some brace comb down there. Now, brace comb in the roof is annoying. Brace comb in feeders is annoying. Brace comb in the hive is potentially deadly for the bees. Mainly because when you're pulling frames out, you can probably more than likely squish the bees doing so. So I'm going to have to try and remove that and find a dummy board to put into place. So I'll show you how to do that now. So first of all, smoke the bees down. I've not actually managed to do any inspection on this. I just noticed this brace comb and decided that I was going to crack on. So right, here we go. So I've knocked the bees down. So the brace comb is here. What I don't want to do is push these frames this way a bit. If I do that, then I can possibly squish them, and I don't want to do that. So instead of using this type of hive tool, you want to move to a J tool. What it does is that it lifts the frame directly up. So if I go like that, whoop, straight up, whoop, straight up. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to lift that frame up. So just did that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so it wasn't this one, but yeah. So you want to go like maybe 1 or 2 frames away from where the brace comb is. The reason for that is that if the queen is there, you do not want to squish it in the brace comb. So I'm going to do a quick check, see if I can see the queen anywhere here, see if there's any queen cells, make sure there's eggs, and then I can move on. So I'm seeing eggs. So the queen is still here. So that imported queen is still here. Okay, so I can't see it. She's got a bright green dot on her back. So this one is actually quite easy to see. So I'm going to move that out of the way because I don't need that right now. So I'm just going to put my hand here to support this because we don't, as again, I don't want to push it this way yet. I'm going to support it. So when I'm pushing like that, it's pushing the frame that way. Ready? Like that, see? And again like that. We're trying to protect this as much as possible because when we get to this frame, we're going to pull it that way and we're going to see if we can see the queen. And we're going to be very careful. Okay? Let's move these bees out of the way. Go away. Again, I'm just going to do a quick check. Now this is a frame that's absolutely full of honey. So it has some brood on it though, so I can't get rid of it. So I'm just going to lean it against this one. Be very careful when leaning frames like this. You don't want to squish any bees underneath. So just do little wiggles and the bees should move out of the way. Right, so we're on this last frame now. So what we're going to do is we're going to gently pull that way. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to set the camera so you can see directly down. Alright, I hope you can see me now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this away very carefully. So fortunately, that brace comb that's here isn't attached to this frame. If it was attached to that frame, then we've got a bit more trouble. You have to sort of carefully scrape it away from the frame and take it down to foundation. The reason you take it down to foundation is because then the bees will draw out normal cells rather than trying to do the same loop or same angle like they were doing before. So I'm just going to have a quick look. This is full of nectar. That's good. Yeah, so I don't know if you noticed, but I'm giving myself lots of room. Give yourself lots and lots and lots of room, because you don't know what's going to be on this brace comb. The queen may be on there, or could be brood, could be absolutely anything. So you don't know what's on there. So we're going to give yourself lots of room for your hands to move about in. So find where it joins to the box. Be very gentle, and just, so these ones here and here, you can see that they've got like a good little blade on them. I actually prefer the blade on these ones because it seems to be longer and it seems to be slightly thinner to me. So I'm going to use this one. So flat bit on the actual hive body, place it flat against, and then just slowly work your way down. You want to give bees enough time to move out of the way. So what I've done then is I've just disconnected it from the hive and it started to fall. So I've had to grab it. Now fortunately it's not very heavy. Now if this was full of honey, it'd be very, very heavy. And if it's very heavy, it means that you are going to be pinching through the wax, causing an all sorts of mess. The strongest part of any sort of brace comb is along this edge here. So if you can sort of scoop your hand underneath it and hold it like that, so you're holding it along the edge, then you're going to have a better chance of holding it. So there we are. So I've taken that off. It just fell off on its own then. This is very fragile. It's not attached to any frame or anything like that, so it's very, very fragile. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check, see the queen's not on it, just so I can be a bit more relaxed. Queen isn't there, so now what I'm going to do, use my nails there and just brush these bees off. Brush them off. They'll get out of the way. If any have the bum in the cells, they'll lift the head out going, what the hell are you doing? And then that's perfect time to brush them off again. Yep. Empty. Moved. Perfect. So now I've got another set here, so I'm going to try and deal with that. So same again. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to move it slightly, see if I can see any other parts attached to the wooden box. I can't see any, so I'm going to try to scoop it as best I can. So hands underneath, hold the edge, as I said, hold the blade, the thinnest part. Try and get the bees off your hand. If you have to flick them off with your nails, you can do. Right, and then again, flat against the wood, and then very slowly giving the bees plenty of time to move out of the way. Right, and there we go, that's gone. So that was quite easy for me, because it was just a small bit. I've had it in the past where I've forgotten to put a few frames in, because I'd taken frames out to put brood somewhere in like a nuke box or something, and then I'd forgotten to put some fresh frames back in. So unfortunate that this one was just a single little gap here. And also glad that the queen hasn't been there as well, because when you're dealing with brace comb, it's very easy to kill the queen if she is wandering around it. Right, so that's that done. So I'm going to just have a quick inspection, check for any queen cells or anything like that. I've not actually seen the queen yet. She should be nice and easy to see. That is the benefit of those bees from the importer that I got them from. The only benefit, I have to say, because they were dreadful. Just having a look. Can't see the queen. I'm seeing eggs though, so she's still here. So I'm going to put this back and close it up. Remember, just be very careful. So we have this weird space here. This is either a Mazemore or Thorn's cedar brood box. We have this weird space. This space is too small for a normal frame, and it's too big for like a thin piece of wood. So what I've done is I've created some brood dummy boards that are out of, I can't remember what it is actually. It's a type of brood frame that doesn't have these lugs. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I think it's DN1 or DN2. I can't remember which one it is. But I'll show you that now. So as you can see, it doesn't have any lugs. I think it's a DN1 off the top of my head. And what I've done is, instead of putting foundation in, I've used 3mm ply. I got that from Wix at the time. I ended up measuring the dimensions in there, all I did was I ended up getting a wax foundation, placing it on top, and then just drawing a rectangle around it and then cutting it to that. It worked quite well, as you can see. I then used a staple gun to staple this bit of wood into place with some wood glue as well, and it's held up quite well, and it does a good job. So I'm going to slide this in now. Sorted. There we are. So that will stop them from producing any brace comb. There's not enough space, so there should be about 8mm space either side there. So it's all sorted. Brilliant. Right, I'm going to stick the super on top, put the lid back on, and then get cracking. Hi guys, I thought I would start today sat here rather than inside my car because it's a lovely day. It's very sunny and my car is very hot. So it's been a few days since my last video. So what I'm going to do now is go through those colonies where I put broods above a queen excluder, and I'll just show you what it looks like now. I'm going to make up some nukes because I've ordered 10 queens from Den Rosa apiaries in Scotland. These are imported queens again. I don't know how I feel about it. I've heard very good things about Den Rosa apiaries compared to the last guy I went to, who was an absolute train wreck of a person. So I'm hoping these bees will be quite good. I'm going to do it the best way possible, so I'm going to start them all in nukes and then introduce them as a nuke to a colony rather than just put them inside a full-size hive straight off the bat. This is the safest route of making queens accepted because they can get some brood going, they can start building up naturally, and then you put them onto a full-size colony, and because the bees are there and there's brood there and she's laying, they're a bit more readily accepted. So those bees should be coming next week sometime. So I've got today to try and make up 10 nukes for those bees to come. If I can make up some more nukes, then I will do. I'm really behind on my queen rearing this year. I've just been so busy with everything else. So I'm hoping that once I get these queens in place, I can start queen rearing and I can start making nukes to sell. That's my hope anyway. Anyway, I'm going to get my hood on and I'm going to go get cracking. See you in a minute. So first off the bat, if you see that outside your hives at this time of year in the morning, don't be too worried. That is all the forager bees. They're all coming out here and kind of bearding on the front. The reason for that is that it's actually quite cold today, or rather this morning. So the bees are sort of just huddling together, getting the heat up because they need that sort of warmth to get going. You can see some foragers coming in and out already. Yeah, they're happy, don't worry about it. It should warm up throughout the day and then that should disappear as all the foragers fly out. Yeah, that's good. So this colony, I pulled out brood frames from the 2 brood boxes there and put them in this brood box here. Put this brood box above the queen excluder. So all the bees, like a nurse bee, should have started making their way up here now. So this should be absolutely full of bees. That's the hope anyway. And let's see. They've certainly propelised it down. Get some warmth in. I need my smoke for this. So the benefit of doing what I've done is that now all the bees in this box, there's no queen in here. So I can shake all of the bees out of this box into a nucleus box. And I know for a fact that the queen isn't here. She is in the bottom boxes. So that's good. Now, it is a good idea to throw in a load of bees into any nuke boxes that you're keeping at the same apiary, just because there will be some nurse bees here, but a lot of them will be foragers or bees that have been able to fly out and locate where the hive is. So you want to throw in as many bees as possible if it's in the same apiary. Now, if you're taking the bees away or the nuke away to another apiary that's more than 3 miles away, you only need to throw in like a few seams of bees, like maybe it's 3 or 4 frames of bees, because they will fly out, they'll not know where the hell they are, and they'll fly back in, and that'll be their new home. Because I'm keeping these in the same apiary for now, though, any bees that fly out will go, oh, this is my home, and they'll fly back over here. So yeah, so I'm probably going to use this whole box in one nuke, and then I'll probably split the frames up and put some bees from another hive in this one instead. Right, so let's go through them and see what's going on. So just to mess with them a bit, I put some foundation frames in between the brood. They haven't drawn that out, sadly, but that's okay. Let's have a look at what these other frames look like. So there we are. Those are the frames of brood that I put in. So I'm just going to put these into a new box. Probably take this box away for now. Right, so we'll stick this on top for now. Right, so this is a Pains nuke box. Can fit 6 frames in it. There's a feeder on the side, so it's pretty good for doing things like this. These are best for overwintering, I've found. Just because they have the inbuilt feeder, you can pour the food in there and close them back up. You don't have to put a feeder on top or anything like that. And usually the insulation is really good for winter as well. So I really like these for winter. They're a bit annoying if it turns into the flow, because then the bees will start filling up the feeder with comb. And if the queen gets in there, oh, he's scuppered. Right, okay, so it's 1 frame of brood. Put that straight in. Don't have to shake any bees off yet. It's 1. That is 2 frames of brood. Lots of bees. Now this is 3 frames. Now, a lot of the bees from this one have actually already hatched out, which is a bit annoying, but it's fine. Put that in there, so I've got 3 there. I'm going to put a foundation frame in right here, just because it's always good to keep the bees busy. Now, looking at this, there's only 1 more frame in here, and that's mostly honey, so I'm going to put that in as the food frame. Shake any bees that are left into here, and then that's 1 nuke done. There aren't actually any other bees in here, so I'll just shake that down. Yeah, doesn't look like there's any more bees in here, so I'm just going to take this box off for now, move it to the side. We'll have a look inside the brood box in here, just make sure everyone's happy, and then we'll close this up. Tell you what, I'm going to put another frame of foundation in there. Always good to keep them entertained. Oh, right, so I'm going to close this up and move it over there, out of the way. Also going to number it as well. So this bad boy is going to be number 1. Yeah, so I'll probably put this on again, but without the queen excluder, just so they've got more space to come up, and they'll have more frames to draw out as well. So move you out of the way. Right, so I've just taken 6 frames out of this box, so I need to go get some foundations. Right. So as I've said in the past video, I'm not looking to get honey off these guys. This is my queen rearing apiary, so these guys are purely here to produce me bees and brood. I don't want any honey off them. Any honey that they produce, they keep in the winter. So that's how I deal with these guys. Now, what I did last week was, when I was transferring frames up into the box above the queen excluder, I was swapping those frames out with foundation. And I'm just going to have a look at some of the foundation, see what it looks like, see if they've actually started drawing this stuff out. So, oh, yeah, that's fully drawn out. Wow. Good on them. Ah. Nice work, guys. Really good work. Now, they're not going to be too happy with me because, as I said, it's a bit chilly at the moment. So, yeah, they're not going to be too chuffed about that. Look at what this one looks like. So this is the outer frame, and even this one's drawn out, and it's got loads of honey in it. That's awesome. Good on you guys. Okay, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. I'm going to move into the centre, just see if I can find the brood area and just have a quick look. Found some pollen and some drone brood. Lots of pollen. So these guys have lots of pollen. That's good. Somehow one of them's got into my sleeve. Ow! So remember, if you get stung or anything, smoke the area and smoke yourself. Don't smoke the bees because they fly about. You don't. So I'm hoping that I can see some eggs somewhere. But okay, whew, that's all right. Found some eggs. That's good. That's very good. Good. Go on. Right, I'm going to close these guys off because I don't want to upset them anymore. I've taken what I needed from them. I've made a nuke out of them, so I'm going to close them up. I'm going to put that other box on top. And then hopefully that'll keep them happy and entertained for enough time that they can produce me more brood for another nuke at some point in the future. But until then, good luck to them. I'm not worried about them at all. Don't think they're going to swarm anytime soon, especially because I'm going to put so much space on now. Ooh. So this box is full of foundation frames like that. But just to encourage them up, I've put another frame from a dead out that has some drawn out cells. There's a few dead bees in there, but the bees in here will clear them out. Nothing to worry about. Right, I'm going to mark these as 25. Okay, right, push that up. Sweet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, perfect. Right, in fact, I could probably fit a 12th one in here. So, the benefit / negative, I guess, of bellow frames is that they are considerably thinner than other frames. So if you look how thin that is. That's a bellow, that is. So, yeah, sometimes it means that you can fit another frame in. So this top box might end up with 12 frames. Let's go find out. Let's see if this fits. Ah, look at that. Perfect. So that's another frame. So there are 12 frames in this top box. That's good. 25. Perfect. So this colony has loads and loads of space now. That's good. I don't think I need to worry about these guys swarming for quite a while. So I'm going to just leave them to it for now and go and have a look at the other colonies. See if I can make some more nukes. As I said, I need 10 nukes before next week. So this one is my breeder queen from before. This is the queen that I'm going to be breeding as many as my queens this year from as possible. As I said, I'm way behind on my queen rearing this year. It's probably going to be a June, July jobby, so probably ready for August. But yeah, it's just the way things have turned out. I'm not too worried about it. It's just annoying. Right, I'm just going to go get some nuke boxes to put these bees in. Right, so I've got 2 empty nuke boxes down there. So what I need from these guys is at least 2 frames of brood, and I need to empty this whole box of bees into both those nuke boxes. I'm also going to shake out the bees that are in this super into the nukes as well. Just because I need as many bees as possible, and the majority of these will probably fly off. So I'll do that after I know how many nukes I can produce from this colony though. Right, so I've checkerboarded some of these frames because I was trying to get them to draw out some foundation. I don't know if it's worked. I don't think it has. That's a shame, but it doesn't matter. So let's just crack these open a bit. Take the foundation frame off here. So the bees are in here. I'm not going to shake them off yet. I'm going to try and figure out what I'm putting into these nuke boxes over here. So we need at least 2 frames of brood and 1 of food. So that is drone brood on that side and on that side. So I'm not going to do anything with that one. I'm going to use it to shake off later. But for now, leave it there. What are you? So we have some issues here. And this is a common problem when you're making nukes doing this method. So if you put brood above a queen excluder, the bees will think, oh, there's no queen up here, and they'll start making their own queens. So knock them down before putting them inside a nuke box, especially if you're bringing in a queen from outside and you're just going to be releasing her into it, because that virgin will hatch, the bees will kill your new queen that you're putting in, and then you're stuck with this queen here rather than one that you've just spent a lot of money on. So yeah, knock these down. What I will do as well is I'll go through this colony just to check that these aren't swarm cells, because the last thing I want is for my breeder queen for this year to be swarming. Right, so that's a small frame of brood, some larvae in there as well, so I'm going to put that in one of the nukes. Don't shake the bees off, there's no need. Oh, the queen is not in this box. I will shake these bees off this frame though. Have another check, make sure there's no queen cells on this one either, because I don't want the main colony to swarm because I've put a queen excluder in. So I can put you back in because there's a lot of space in here now. Ooh. Right, you have brood as well. Not a lot of brood, but still brood, so I'm going to shove this one in as well. I am going to shake the bees off this one just so I can see if there's any queen cells. Nope. Ooh. This is a lovely frame of brood, completely full of capped broods. That's great. I can't see any queen cells, but I'm going to shake these off into that nuke and then have a look. These are the perfect frames. If you have 2 frames full of brood like that, then that's all you need to keep a nuke going. These other frames that I have, they've only got a few cells of capped brood in it. The majority of it's honey, so they're alright for food really, but definitely need more brood in there. So these guys have got 3 frames, 1 decent frame and 2 half frames. So I think that nuke is fine now. We'll have a look, see what's still available in this box. So we've got a capped cell here. That's a capped emergency cell. So that is worrying, because if there's a capped cell anywhere, it means that it could be that the bees have swarmed. Yeah, so I'm not actually going to touch that right now, because if the bees have swarmed, that is our only queen. So I'm going to make a note of where that is, and then go down below and check for eggs. That's not good. Now, it's only been a few days, so they shouldn't have capped that queen cell already. What they've done is they've found probably an older larvae, and they've started making that into a queen, given it just enough royal jelly to become a queen, and then they've sealed her up. That is not a grand way of producing queens. I'm going to shake these off into this nuke. Okay. Yeah, so it's only been a few days, but a lot of this brood has hatched, so I'm only going to produce 1 nuke from it. So I'm going to shake these bees off into it as well. Check for queen cells. No queen cells on this one. Lost. Shake this in. I'm going to check for queen cells. No, nothing. It's good. Put this in as well. So that's another good frame of brood. So if you can see that. I'm going to stick that in the nuke as well. So I've made 1 really strong nuke, so that's good. I'm going to put the rest as just foundation in here though. They've got lots of food in 2 of the frames, so now they just need stuff to do. Mark these 25. Perfect. There we are. There's another one sorted. I'm going to get this one facing the opposite direction and call this number 2. It means that this colony has swarmed, which is really, really annoying because this was going to be my breeder queen. Yeah, really annoying. Fit one more in there. Right, let's take this off. So the bees are cleaning up the super. It's fine. Can't imagine them using it for brood though, so we'll have a quick check. I think it's mainly going to be honey. Yeah, it's mostly just honey. So I put a few frames of foundation in this one as well. We'll lift them up, see what they look like, see if they've been drawn out. Yeah, been drawn out, and I can see some eggs. Now these aren't fresh eggs, but they are eggs, so that's good. Now I marked this queen with silver, so they'll say, "Oh yeah, this is real. This is a full frame of eggs." This is a crazy amount of eggs on this one. That's amazing. Okay. It's a light frame, so I'll be able to show you actually. So, can you see in the bottom of the cells, there's like a little grain of rice? That there is a bee egg. And see the difference between, where are we? So see how those ones are lying down? If you look at the point of my glove, those are lying down, so you can see the rice there. This one's got an egg as well, and if I tilt it slightly, you can see that it's standing up an end. So that means that this one, that I'm pointing at here, where it stood up an end, is newer than this one. So that has literally just been laid in the past hour or so. That one is probably a day or so old. Cool, isn't it? So yeah, she's laying this up like a trooper. It's cool. Right. So I've seen eggs. And there are eggs that are right up on the end, so that means that it's more likely that the queen's in here. I'm just going to check for queen cells, because last thing I want is her swarming. I'm going to give her some extra space next, so hopefully that will knock her out of any any swarming impulse. Queen cup, nothing in it. It's good. That's got some brood in it as well. Now, there is a trick that you can do to try and get bees to use up the honey that they've got in their frame. So say you've got some old honey from winter, right? This only really works when you've got frames of foundation right next door. So what you do is shake the bees off, like that. So the bees are off. And as you can see there, there is brood here, and there is honey here. So what we do is we just bruise the honey. So by that, I mean just poke it down, just press down a bit so honey comes up, and you're just going to try and break the seal of the caps there. What that means is the bees will come, they'll come collect it and eat it, because they're going to try and transfer it somewhere else. But if you've got a foundation nearby, then they will come and go, oh, well, I can just swallow this down and use the wax it produces to draw these out. So it's a good way of getting frames drawn out and using up old honey that may have like syrup in it or something like that. I've done it on that side, do it on the other side, and what I'll do is I'll mark this frame, and then over the weekend when I'm doing my normal inspections, I will come and have a look at this frame and we can see how it worked, if it worked. It usually works. It's like a 70% jobby. But there we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down here BH, bruised honey. And we'll come back and we'll see whether that honey has been transferred elsewhere and see if any of these frames of foundation have been drawn out. So that'd be good. Let's move this over here. Actually, how far have I gone into this? I've not really gone that far, have I? Let's move this way a bit. Whoop. Right. This is full of eggs as well. Loads of eggs. Yeah, this whole frame is full of eggs. That's good. Right, last one. Sometimes taking a lot of frames away and giving them foundation stuff will make them think that they've swarmed. So sometimes it can even knock the swarm impulse out by doing that way. Doesn't always happen that way though, so don't say that you did that and it didn't work. Doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. If you want bees to move, just blow on them. With mint fresh breath. So that's one. Yep, I'm happy with that. They're not swarming. I'm going to destroy that queen cell and move on. They've got eggs anyway, even if they are swarming. So I'm not too worried about that. Put that foundation down here. Whoop. Okay. Right, I need to smoke myself because I'm getting buzzed. Smoke, smoke, smoke. Right, that's off. An alarm pheromone has clearly been set off, so I'm just gonna try and smoke the air a bit, get rid of that smell. Okay, right. I'm gonna put another brood box, that second brood box, on top here, and then put the supers on top of that. So let's move you out of the way over here. Whenever you're putting colonies down, or whenever you're putting boxes down, try and put them on top of something like a lid or something like that. If there's none of that around, put them on the side like that. And try and lean them so they don't fall up and all the frames fall out, because that's really annoying. Right, so there we are. Right, so that egg was on this one, or rather, that queen cell was on this one. So I'm going to shake this off, and there's a queen cell. The way to get rid of queen cells, just underneath and flick them off like that. Done. Yeah, she wasn't developing very well, so that's good. It's for the best. Cool. Fine. And now we've got loads of foundation in here directly on top of the brood box, so it means that the bees will come up and they'll start drawing this out, which is great. I'm going to put a queen excluder on the top now and put these supers on as well. So first thing I'm going to do though is shake this super off. This super down here was directly on top of the brood box underneath the queen excluder, so the queen could even be in here. So I'm going to shake all the bees out and put the queen excluder on. Fact. Over here. So the queen doesn't get away. Start shaking them out. The chances of her being up here are very slim, just because it's not properly like cleaned yet, so she wouldn't have wanted to lay any eggs in it. But never say never when it comes to bees. They are really annoying when it comes to what they should and shouldn't do. Yeah, this is getting full of honey, that's cool. Right, so that's all the bees out of this super, so I can put the queen excluder on here now, and then put the supers on, and all that'll be in those supers is honey, which is good because it is now very close to spring harvest time. Come on, girls, get out the way. There we go. Crunk. Right then, evenly space these out. On to the next one. Oh. Right, I'm going to call it quits there. Remember, I'm trying to keep my videos shorter just because the whole process of editing them has become a bit of a chore for me, especially with everything else that's going on in my life. This may just be a temporary thing for now, but I'm hoping it makes things a bit easier for me in the future. If you enjoyed what you saw, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button. If you really want to see more videos like this in the future, or have a look at my old videos from last year, then please hit subscribe and look at my back catalogue. I've got loads of videos from last year, and I've got loads of how-to videos and fact checks and stuff like that. If you're interested about what I'm doing with my rewilding Rainford, which I've mentioned in past videos, I'm trying to rewild my village and hopefully make it a bit more biodiverse. Rainford is a very green place, but it's the wrong kind of green. It's perfectly manicured lawns, and what nature needs is lots of wild grass, lovely wildflowers, lots of places for bugs to hide, and hedgehogs and stuff like that to hide as well. So if you want to see any more of that stuff, what I'm up to, then I've got a Facebook page. Just look for Mystery Cider. Yes, I'm a beekeeper, but I started making cider, so Mystery Cider. If you want to find me on TikTok, see my fact checks of other stupid honey videos where people say that honey can cure cancer and all sorts like that. That is also Mystery Honey. If you want to see any of my blogs that I've been writing recently about rewilding Rainford, all you need to go is onto my website, mystery.com, and then there's a blog section where you can just press that and it'll have a big list of all the blogs that I've written for the past 5-6 years, whatever. If you're on Facebook and you want to join in with some groups, I've got two. Nonsensical Beekeeping, which I still am flabbergasted that it actually has anybody joining because it was a joke. Anyway, and I've got Merseyside Beekeepers, where people around the Merseyside area can get together, talk about issues in the area, and maybe get some deals if we bulk buy stuff like bee food and bee pollen and stuff like that. So it's a good one to join if you're in the area or if you're interested and can affect a Scouse accent. Anyway, have an amazing day, and I hope to see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.